Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. We have a lot of great stuff that's going out today, including these watch bands. Let's take a preview of what's in the video here. We have an Apple Watch band in black reverse shell Cordovan, an Apple Watch band in color 8 reverse shell Cordovan, an Apple Watch band in intense blue shell Cordovan, a regular 2-piece strap in black reverse shell Cordovan, a 2-piece strap in natural shell Cordovan, a 2-piece strap in intense blue shell Cordovan. There's a brand new flash sale item. It's a Bugs Moran, and it's a black all reverse shell Cordovan with no stamps. We have a black shell Cordovan Valet Tray, brown Chrome XL belt, another new natural Chrome XL belt, a 100% black shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox, a black Dublin with teal interior Johnny the Fox, a color number 8 Chrome XL Frank the Enforcer, an amaretto shell Cordovan Frank the Enforcer, and a natural shell Cordovan Tony the Ant. All right, let's take a closer look at some of the watch straps that are going out today. And there's 6 of them here, and I thought it was kind of interesting that just by happenstance that the colors are kind of similar between these Apple Watch bands and the 2-piece watch straps that we have going out. We make the Apple Watch bands in a bunch of different leathers, and these are just 3 of them. We also make them in 2 different hardware choices. So we have this sort of silver hardware here that you can see the silver buckle with these silver adapters, but we also have black hardware. And here's what the black hardware looks like. It's more of like a matte black finish. So black buckle with the black adapters. For me, I have a black Apple Watch, so I like the black adapters for my Apple Watch. My wife actually has more of a silver finished Apple Watch, so the silver adapters match hers a little bit better. These are only fit to size the larger of the Apple Watches. So for our watch straps, and these are unlined 2-piece watch straps, we just use a single thickness of leather. And not every piece of shell Cordovan is the appropriate thickness for a watch strap. We like something with a little bit more substance to it, a little bit thicker. It's sort of like a thickness that you would use on a boot. It's roughly 5 ounce thick. And we choose that because there is no backer to these straps. So what you get is a really nice piece of Cordovan touching your wrist. And in the case of this intense blue strap, you're getting the reverse side of the shell Cordovan. And what's great about this is either way you do it, whether you make it a reverse strap like this one here, either way you do it, you get a piece of shell on your wrist or the reverse shell. Now the shell itself, I like these for the aesthetic. I think the randomization of the reverse shell is really cool to pair with any watch. But the consequence of using the reverse side is the shell Cordovan itself will touch your wrist. I actually have been wearing a black reverse strap myself on an Apple Watch band. It's the most comfortable watch band that I've worn, so I like it for that reason. But even if you use the shell facing outwards, you get the reverse shell Cordovan touching your wrist. And the reverse shell Cordovan also has a really nice ability to get smoother and more comfortable just the more you wear it. And that's because it's a veg tan leather. All veg tan leathers will want to mold and conform around whatever you put or inside of it. So in this case, it will mold around your wrist, and the moisture that your body puts onto the leather helps expedite that aging process and the molding process. So the more you wear it, the more comfortable these straps will get. All right, take a look at our brand new flash sale. This is a special Bugs Moran that we were playing around with. And this is an all reverse Bugs Moran, and this one happens to be more of the Tony the Ant size. It's a little bit wider than our standard Bugs Moran, which I think we wanted to show a larger context of the shell on the outside here, but still make more minimalist style. But take a look at how cool this reverse shell Cordovan is on the outside. This is a black reverse shell Cordovan, and it does not appear black at all. And it's more of a greenish tan shade. And you can see on the center here, this is actually the intended shell Cordovan side of that piece. The back side, the unintended side, is this greenish tan color. The reason we do that is a couple reasons. It gives us a chance to show off all the randomization and dye splatter on the back side of the leather. And it's all random because they're not trying to do this. These are just sort of accidents that have happened during the dye process. But the reason that it's green is because the black dye that Horween uses to dye the shell Cordovan is a greenish black. And in part of the process, they're dipping the whole piece of leather inside a barrel of water. So the black dye migrates around into that water and translates onto the back side of the shell. That's why we get this random greenish tan look. On the inside, we've also included more reverse shell Cordovan. So this is black reverse shell Cordovan, some more of that green tan with these great dye marks. This one is an irregular. It's got some open cuts on the inside here that you might be able to see rather easily. And if not, I'll include a close-up photo. These are not great for looking at, but it's totally fine for function because you don't see it translate onto the other side of this wallet. So this will be up on our flash sale page at a really nice discount for these irregularities. And we have a couple belts shipping out today. In fact, many belts shipping out today. I wanted to show you two of them. And these are both of our Chrome Excel belts currently. We're currently making and shipping out our brown Chrome Excel belts, as well as the natural Chrome Excel belts. And here's what the natural looks like. Both of these are the same leather with just a different dye applied to them. And these are classic colors. So you find these all over in different types of footwear. I'm actually wearing some Grant Stone diesel boots in the Dune Chrome Excel, they call it. That's the same leather as this natural here. So if you're trying to match your shoes, you should have pretty good luck if you have a pair of Chrome Excel. There's a high chance it's either natural or brown Chrome Excel. That's what both of these look like. These are a brand new offering for us. And this is, again, a single layer thickness belt. Similar to how we make our watch bands. I think it's more comfortable to have a single layer thickness, and it actually will last longer because you're not laminating any backer onto the leather. There's no stitching to break apart on there, and it's just more comfortable. So we take a little bit of extra care to pick thick pieces of Chrome Excel, and these are heavyweight 9 to 10 ounce thick pieces of Chrome Excel. And then in addition to picking out the extra heavyweight stuff, we fill in the back side of this belt with a heavy resin finish. So you can see here, even the backside has that great sheen to it. It's really filled in all the fibers. Before we fill in these fibers, it looks a little bit more like a suede. So the reason we do it is I think it cleans up the look a lot, but it also makes the belt very, very comfortable. So I think that's really interesting feature of these belts. It's hard to sort of innovate a belt because it's such a simple object. It doesn't need to do much more than hold up your pants. So I like the idea of something just very simple done the right way. And the other thing that we've done on these new belts is the holes for the whole side of the belt. These are little teardrop shaped holes. And the reason I like these teardrop shaped holes is, number one, I think they look a little bit more interesting than just a normal circular hole. But this is the way that your belt is going to want to wear in once you start putting the pin of this buckle through that hole and start wearing it. We're sort of pre-stretched in the holes for you to expedite that for you and make the belt a little bit more comfortable right off the bat. And I have a few Valet Trays shipping out today. And I wanted to show you two of the black shell Cordovan Valet Trays. Check out how cool the inside of these trays look with that Horween ink stamp. And we try to cut those ink stamps into the Valet Trays every chance we get, and we try to center them as well. But take a look, like I was talking about earlier with the watch straps, take a look at the randomization of the reverse side of the shell Cordovan. I love the random color and dye marks and that opportunity to show off the Horween ink stamp. But the reason I brought out two of them is to show you the variation that we see on the black reverse shell Cordovan. Sometimes it's a little lighter and a little bit more tan, and sometimes it's a little darker. It's like a darker forest green. Both of these are very cool. And the other thing to point out about our Valet Trays is we have to keep the cost down. To me, it doesn't make sense to charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a Valet Tray. So what we've done is we've strategically cut in some irregularities into the bottoms of these Valet Trays. So the thought is that you'll never see them when they're sitting on the table. Like if there's little scuffs or scratches or scars on the shell, hopefully you'll never see that on the bottom. But it's a good chance to get a nice huge piece of shell Cordovan at a good price. And I use these Valet Trays all over the place. We have several of them in our workshop here to keep everything organized, and I use them all over my home as well. All right, let's take a look at a few wallets here that are shipping out. This is a 100% black shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. Take a look at how sweet that shell is on the exterior. Really bright, shiny luster, great feel, super silky smooth. And take a look at the interior. This is the part that excites me because it's very challenging to find the naturally thin pieces of shell that we have to have for the inside of the fox. If we don't pick thin pieces of shell, this wallet gets super thick. And take a look at the profile here. Nicely finished edges. They look like wood to me when you finish the edges of any of these shell Cordovan pieces. It's like a little piece of wood on the edge there. But if we don't pick the thin pieces, this wallet is roughly twice the thickness. So it keeps it a nice slim profile for this Johnny the Fox. We have to do that, otherwise it's just an unusable wallet. And one more thing to point out about this wallet is check out the ink stamp in the back slot. We try to cut those into the backs of the Johnny the Fox as well. Here's a fun wallet, and this one has been personalized for Ian, so thank you so much, Ian. This is a black Dublin Johnny the Fox with really incredible grain character. Take a look at that natural texture on this Dublin. Really cool. It's almost like ripples on the water or something. And then if you look a little bit finer detail, you can see all that great black Dublin character. And for me, the black Dublin, and I've said it too many times, if you've watched these videos, please forgive me, but the black Dublin is the best black leather you can get. It's the only black leather that I have seen that has any amount of natural character. And that's because most black leathers that you find in the world are very heavily finished and they're just covered in paint. Horween does a nice aniline finish on this black Dublin, so there's no solids to fill in all that fine detail of the grain character. And on the inside of this wallet, we've paired it with a really cool teal interior. And I like the vividness of the teal horsehide that we use on these, and I especially like how it pairs with the black. I think that black and teal together is super special, and I've been inspired by this look for a long time. So a few years ago, we started making these Johnny the Foxes. We also make the inverse of this wallet with a teal on the exterior and a black on the interior. Up next is a Frank the Enforcer in a really nice piece of color 8 chrome excel. So that's the front there with 2 card slots. On the back side, we have 1 card slot, and there is also a larger middle compartment here where you can fit US dollars folded in half. What I want to talk about is the color 8. So color 8 is a classic shell Cordovan color. Most people, when they hear the word Cordovan, they think of this color. So we've translated the shell Cordovan color onto the chrome excel. It's super nice. And the chrome excel is just a little bit of a different leather, right? It still has a little bit more grain character than the shell, but it has that great shiny luster and a different feel. So here's the shell Cordovan Frank the Enforcer. This one happens to be in my favorite shell color, the Amaretto shell Cordovan. Take a look at that color. And if you look at the card slots as I turn this, notice how the color shifts from more of like a reddish brown, light tan brown to like a really orangey, pumpkin-y, vibrant tan. And I love the color shift in the Amaretto. And you can even see it as I spin it around on the table. I think that's a really fun parlor trick. It's like this looks brown to me now, and now that middle piece is a little bit more orange. That's really cool. Same thing on this Frank the Enforcer. We have 1 card slot on the back with 2 on the front and this larger slot in the center, if I can get at it with one hand. This is where you put your cash folded in half. These are great little wallets for front pocket minimalist people. And the last wallet to show you today, this is a really nice piece of natural shell Cordovan on our Tony the Ant. Take a look at that character on the left. I really like that mild natural variation in the shell an awful lot. That's what gets me every time. I like something that's a little bit unique. And nothing too crazy here. It's just a really subtle, interesting look on the left there. And this is a little bit more of like a normal shell on the right. They're both really, really cool pieces on the back here. And on the shell, we have that great bright, shiny luster. Very much a mirror-like finish on the shell. And on the inside, this is really nice too. Really clean look on this natural shell Cordovan, left and right with the Horween ink stamp right in the center. This is a great wallet going out today. Can't wait for you to wear this one and see how that patina develops on the natural shell Cordovan. So thanks for checking out all the stuff in the video today, including all these watch straps that we have going out. I wanted to show you one of my favorite subtle features on our watch straps before we go here. On all the intense blue shell Cordovan straps, we do a little edge staining. So the intense blue, we have this really cool subtle blue look on the edges. which is a detail that sometimes I forget to show in these videos because it's a little hard to show like a very thin edge of a wallet or a watch strap. But I think those little details are what makes something as simple as a watch strap just a little bit more special. So if you have any questions about watch straps, Apple Watch bands, please don't hesitate to let me know. Maybe let me know what your stunner of the day was. I'm very struck by this natural shell Tony. So until next time, I hope you have a good one and take care.